Prospects for the Iraqi economy, challenges and opportunities to 2025 and beyond. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, provided a detailed assessment of the Iraqi economy. The Iraqi economy contracted by 2.2% in 2022. The fund expects the economy to grow by 1.4% in 2024 and 5.3% in 2025. However, the fund warns that Iraq's fiscal position remains worrisome, with the budget deficit expected to widen to 7.6% of GDP in 2024, compared to 1.3% in 2023. It also expects government debt to reach 48.2% of GDP in 2024 and 54.6% in 2025. By 2025, the Iraqi economy is expected to begin a significant recovery, with strong growth in its non-oil sector and increased investment in areas such as technology and infrastructure. If the required fiscal and structural reforms are implemented, Iraq may be able to reduce its dependence on oil and strengthen its private sector. We have numerous articles, from ALAC from as far back as 2023, specifically saying this year, they will cease the auctions. That would be by the end of the year. This isn't something new. They've been warned. It's coming to fruition. Right now Iraq is among 20 countries classified under the US State Department's Level 4 Do Not Travel warnings. The other, countries like Belarus, Afghanistan, Haiti, Iran, Lebanon, North Korea, Russia, Somalia, Syria, Ukraine, Venezuela, and Yemen. The revaluation of Iraq's currency and its removal from the US State Department's Level 4 Do Not Travel list are interconnected. Iraq is the world's first in the density of natural resources. A new vision for investing resources. What is Article 12 of the IMF? The rate. That's exactly what it is. The IMF demands a country has a currency that can move in and out of the country. The IMF demands all currencies around the world have the ability to go into this country and also exit. That's Article 8. Article 8 is the freedom of that nation's currency to move in and out and other foreign currencies that are in there as well too. Article 8 removes all restrictions. We're way past Article 8. We're at Article 14. Implementation of the new exchange rate. Within days. Business is confused with expectations of higher dollar exchange rates in the parallel market. Whenever you close off the selling of US dollars on the auctions, you're going to have a spike in parallel markets cause people are desperate to get them dollars. This brings down the value of the Iraqi dinar because people want more US dollars and they're willing to pay more Iraqi dinars to get their hands on the US dollars. Delegation from US Department of Treasury visit the CBI. Announcement from Central Bank of Iraq. Delegation from US Department of Treasury visited the Central Bank of Iraq. The delegation expressed their gratitude and appreciation for the procedures taken by the CBI during last year in the operations of combating the financing of terrorism and money laundering. Issuing money can help provide the economy with liquidity which can prove economic growth and innovation. Sounds about where Iraq is headed, right? However, if not managed carefully, the government's directly issuing can lead to inflation. Inflation is the consequence of not playing by the rules, as we all know. Why would ALAC be talking about this? The exchange rate change is likely to be coming because they're going to have something that supports the ability to do all of this, and they have the United States and the coalition on board for it, and you probably have the Bank of International Settlements, World Bank, IMF, UN, okay with it, too. This is extremely important you understand this. It is projected at the end of this month on the 31st that the auctions will come to an end. Therefore the next day the citizens of Iraq will be looking for something to use. They will demand $1 because that's all they know, and they will be rejected. The demand for the dollar will increase. The black market value will increase for the dollar, which is not official, which has no meaning, no value to the CBI. But for at least maybe until the 7th. Why? Because on the 7th Sudani has ordered Parliament to finish and sign off everything on the budget. If not, he'll take care of it. 1 week of bubble. That makes sense. I like it. More than $1 billion CBI sales in 4 days. Yes, we did have foreign currency auctions this week. All eyes will be on Monday to see if they continue or do not continue. It's coming. I have a lot of intel that I can't tell you about. Keep the faith. It's coming by the end of the year. The budget is going to expose everything that we've been waiting for. Question: will we be taxed on this exchange? Marks: I am still told no, but I have set aside funds to cover it just in case. Government advisor: Iraq seeks to establish sovereign wealth fund. There are many currencies around the world with weak exchange rates. An increase in the exchange rate is never a random act, it's a reflection of a country's success and economic growth. Encouraging Iraq to succeed and prosper is the only way to increase value. All we care about is the stopping of the auctions, and when, they still say auctions will end by the end of the month. Mr. Sami says when they end the auctions and everyone goes back to work on the 2nd of January, the rise of the dollar will be very closely watched by us here at the banks. If it starts to get out of hand by the 7th when Parliament votes, then he doesn't see any other move but to increase the dinar. That's the only way. Alak has a way out. Parliamentary finance, financial digital transformation will eliminate corruption and money laundering. They are paving the road and laying the groundwork to changing the value of the dinar. The Iraqi Ministry of Finance revealed on Sunday that the size of revenues in the federal budget during 10 months exceeded 124 trillion dinars, while an economic expert considered that the excessive dependence on oil may expose the country to economic fluctuations. Shafaq news agency followed the data and tables issued by the Ministry of Finance in December of this year for 10 months starting from January until October of the current fiscal year, which showed that the revenues from oil decreased slightly to 88%, but it still constitutes the main resource for the general budget, indicating that the rentier economy is the basis of the country's budget. The financial tables indicated that the total revenues for 10 months of the current year amounted to 124 trillion, 659 billion, 47 million, 830,000, and 362 dinars, indicating that the total advances amounted to 18 trillion, 74 billion, 75 million, 887,000, and 751 dinars. According to the tables, oil revenues amounted to 110 trillion, 220 billion, 945 million, and 501,000 dinars, which constitute 88% of the general budget, while non-oil revenues amounted to 14 trillion, 438 billion, 778 million, and 884,000 dinars, which constitute 12% of Iraq's general budget. For his part, economic expert Mohammed Al-Hossani said in an interview with Shafaq news agency, this excessive reliance on oil will expose the country to macroeconomic fluctuations, and will limit any opportunity to develop policies to confront expected fluctuations. He added, Iraq needs to raise growth rates in the non-oil sector in order to absorb the shocks of oil prices when they decline, indicating that in order to reduce dependence on oil, a major adjustment of the public financial situation is required based on increasing non-oil revenues, reducing current spending, and reviewing the customs tariff structure.